let's talk about some of the required tools that you're going to need to be successful in aquaponics. There's not a lot of tools that are needed in aquaponics, but there's a core set of tools that I would suggest that everyone have to just to give you a versatility in your operation. You want to make sure that you invest in the correct tools so you can play at the highest level when you're playing this aquaponic game. You don't want to be worrying about not having the correct tools to either fix something or to put something together. So here's the list of the core tools that we pretty much use in aquaponics. One, it's going to be a PVC pipe cutter. This is absolutely necessary. There's a lot of plumbing that is done in aquaponics and a lot of pipe cutting that needs to happen. You're going to really need these for pipes in diameter that are 1.25 inches and less. This is the tool that's going to be your right-hand man in your operation. So make sure you get a good set of PVC cutters. Also, you're going to want to have a circular saw around, some type of circular saw or a jigsaw, something that is going to be able to cut into 2x4 pieces of wood, something that's going to be able to cut larger PVC pipes, particularly a jigsaw is really good at doing that, or just any other type of saw that's able to cut thick pieces of wood and thick pieces of PVC pipe. That's primarily what you're going to be using it for. Like if you want to build wood stands or things of that nature, or even wood aquariums, you're able to do that. You're going to need a circular saw to chop down a lot of that thicker wood and thicker material. Also, you're going to want to need to have a measuring tape. You're going to need to have your measuring tape to measure dimensions, especially when building. It's all part of engineering and designing blueprints and putting the blueprints into practice. You need to have something to measure what it is that you're doing, or your blueprints aren't going to match, or your design that you're building isn't going to match your blueprint, and your dimensions are going to be off. So measuring tape, definitely. A glue gun is something else that you're going to need. Oftentimes silicone is needed in aquaponics. If you're sealing something up, you're trying to waterproof something, so you're going to need a glue gun for the silicone. Also, a drill is definitely a definite must in aquaponics. You need a drill. You need to have a drill to either tie things down and keep them in place, or you're either drilling holes in something and for drip tubes, or you're drilling holes in anything. There's a lot of hole drilling that's being done in aquaponics. And with the drill, obviously you're going to need drill bits as well. You're going to need a variety of drill bits. So make sure you can pick up a pack of those that have a variety of them in there of all different sizes, because you never know what your project may need. Also, you're going to need, if you're drilling aquariums, you're going to need a diamond bit to drill the aquarium. Like we have glass aquariums here for the breeding tanks and research tanks, and those are made from aquarium or glass. So the diamond bit was a must. You can't use a regular hole saw, which brings me to that. You also need a hole saw. If you're not drilling in glass, you're going to need a hole saw to drill through wood and to create outlets for certain systems and to put pieces of plumbing through different material. You're going to need to use a hole saw. That's because a lot of times the drill bit sizes don't go to the correct size that you need for your operation. Like for the NFT system, you're not going to find a regular size drill bit that is 3 inches wide. So you're going to use a hole saw for that to create the net cups, the spots for the net pots. Also, if you're doing some type of vertical farming, you're going to need a heat gun. A heat gun is definitely what is used to mold different spots inside of the vertical towers and to create an opening for your plants to be positioned in. So that's another thing that you'll need. Also, plumbing pliers come in handy. If you want to tighten something up, if you're using like a threaded PVC, a male threaded to a female threaded PVC, or you're connecting anything threaded together, you're gonna need some type of plumbing pliers to tighten it up, because a lot of times the hand tight isn't good enough. So plumbing pliers, channel locks. Another thing on the list that we want to have is a leveler. This is super important when you want to make sure that your system or whatever it is you're building is level, or it doesn't have an imbalance, or it's not offset. This is super important. I use this a lot when building. So a leveler is definitely a must. So here's just a core list. There's gonna be other small materials that you're gonna need depending on the operation that you're either doing or building. You're gonna need small little supplies here and there that may be just particular to your circumstance. But here's the core list right here, the core list. And this doesn't include materials because the materials are relative to the project that we're doing. So once if we do a project, I'll just let you know which materials go with that particular project. Because if we did a material list right now, it'd be a lot longer than this. So this is just the core tools that you need to be efficient in aquaponics. Make sure you invest in the tools. This here is a thinking man's game. So we want to have the right equipment so we can use our brains as much as we can versus using our physical body.